Hi, can I talk to you for a couple minutes on your own? Okay, thanks. Before the session starts, I want you to know that I am going to bring up the emails that you've been writing to me. It is important to give this individual some time to sort of ease into therapy. But I do agree that if he's not going to bring up the matter on his own, I will direct him to that topic. At the same time, I'm getting a sense that if there is a dangerous situation brewing, as you stated, the behavior is different than what's happening in session, you need to then call the police. I know that makes you very worried because of the threats you've done. I'm going to let you know there'll be another therapist who will be halfway through our session. You need to discuss privately. You can do so, okay? All right. Hi, why don't you come join us now?
Here we go.
What are you trying? What you trying to do? You're trying to jump ahead with the relationship, but it doesn't work. Donnie, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to jump ahead with the relationship, but it doesn't work. You got caught.
As my date to the Tony Awards, Jane, me Tarzan, not you. Knows all the words to Cats, even the British version. She enjoyed Chess, the musical, saw it 3 times. She saw Carrie, it was only open 2 nights. She likes Broadway. I'm dead.
I know, I lost a lot of likes.
A couple years ago.
It's in Mexico at Playa Mariposa.
Oh, in Cabo?
In Cabo, yeah. The pictures. It's so beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
I mean, if you like sunsets, I could care less about. Wait, who's that?
An extraordinary effort, that mission to China, where we really examined what was actually happening there, what was taking the heat out of this thing. What was most striking for me was the Asian society. It wasn't what I was being told in terms of the measures being imposed by government. It was the passion, the diligence, the sense of responsibility, the seriousness of the average Chinese. And I want to use that term very carefully because they weren't average, they were extraordinary people. But they were driven by a sense of collective responsibility for their elderly, for their population. They just had an extraordinary understanding of the disease and a commitment to do what was ever necessary. You know, my translator, when I was in Wuhan, this was a young woman who was from another part of China, just happened to be in Wuhan on the day the lockdown came, and she was there for a month at that point. I said, wow, this must be really difficult. I saw her cell phone, and there was a picture of 2 gorgeous little kids on it, and I said, oh, I guess they're here with you, though. And she said, no, they're 1,000 kilometers away. But this is my duty. This is not about me as an individual. It's about us. And that was what enabled China, and then South Korea, Japan, etc. Very similar. They're all doing the same thing. They are putting shutdowns in place where necessary to slow it down, but then they are mobilizing their whole population to help with the identification, testing, isolation, and then quarantine, and supporting people who are in quarantine. It's a real movement in these countries to apply not just the big shutdowns, because that just slows it down.
Photographer was calculated by analyzing the millimeter of the camera lens, by measuring the length and angle of the shadow, and determining the exact location of the sun at the time the McGinnises called police. Investigators reached an interesting conclusion. The photographer was 5 feet 6 inches tall. And if Virginia was the photographer, why did she take what was perhaps the most incriminating photo of all, a photograph of Donna just before she was pushed over the cliff?
I think Virginia wanted a souvenir. I think Virginia wanted to revisit the death of Donna and enjoy it over and over again. I think she believed that by having that picture, she would have something that would arouse in her the same excitement and the same violation of rules that she had felt live on the cliff when Donna died.
Virginia had apparently picked Donna.
Shut it down for the day. I've got a community board meeting in a little while, and then there's a Dennis Kucinich live web stream I want to hop onto. That across the street over there. We've been outpaced, outshined, outmaneuvered, out everything by those neo-hippie, gender-neutral monsters. It's very bleak.
You have to fight this right. You have to have a wartime attitude. Maybe ask for some help. Something I know you're fucking terrible at, but ask for it anyways.
Who's gonna...
She likes Broadway!
This is Singapore. Uh-oh, did I do it too far?
Singapore settles into life under a heightened virus alert. Life and work.
We find this is such a good opportunity for us to actually inculcate in them the values such as responsibility and resilience. Responsibility in terms of you being responsible for yourself, your own hygiene, and of course the social responsibility towards in keeping your friends, your family members safe.
There are some changes to daily routines, like staggered recess times. Wanjun and Pavitra are form teachers of a primary 1 class.
If you want to fight the virus, wash your hands. Wash your hands. If you want to fight the virus, touch your face. So touch your face. Healthy meals and exercise. Okay, let's ask Chase.
Virus can be anywhere. If they spread inside your mouth, you can be sick or you can be die.
Class sizes down.
Just pause right there if we don't mind, because you want to have kids that already read and write. Teachers told me that's why they couldn't work with my students or students that were going to be eligible. Where's your dad? I can feel my body hurting just by talking about this subject. So again, this is the agreement. So it's all just bogus. It looks great, but they don't have to follow it because they weren't in the federal lawsuit. So you can see my evidence is on the public record, and I got them on the record saying no confidentiality when my lawyer's telling me that that's a for sure. So I know the man lies. Where's your dad? So I know the man lies. Where's your dad? Let's find it. That's the problem. If you lie or you don't remember, you're incompetent. You can't live your life in hiding.
If you believe in special ed and if education is for all, or the wealthiest who have been taking advantage of this system. Oh my, stay here. PTSD is telling me to dampen the words and the feelings and the memories. Literally, with this screen, and that is the visual, the sight. This administration is new in 2012. The one previous let us know, hey. So when you are repeatedly not doing what you should be doing, the question is, well, why? Guess how much it costs.
With noises, rejoices, and voices. Let's get it out in audio, video, flow. From 2004, I learned new things. 14 and 2015. Well, why? Guess how much it costs. Cool. Got it. Ain't my shame no more.
On the first day of class, they know the difference between right and wrong. Do what's right. They don't need a lawyer to tell them their moral absolutes. Whenever you hear someone giving a monologue defending the ethics of their position, you can be pretty sure they know they were wrong.
Can I point something out to you? You're giving a monologue.
Everyone does where I work.
Whoops.